Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing 5 super quick and simple fall DIYs that you're going to love. They'll take you under 5 minutes to create, and most of the supplies I use are from Dollar Tree, so you won't have to spend a ton. So let's get started. Dollar Tree is always my go-to for storage and baskets, and I love their metal wire baskets. And for this project, I will be using this black metal basket. I want to add some wood on the bottom, and so I grab a pack of 1-gallon paint stir sticks. I usually get these at Home Depot, and it comes in a pack of 10 for under a couple of dollars. So I pull out about 4 of these, and I lay them down together side by side, and I place a basket on top so that I can mark the length. I just want to make sure that they'll fit nicely on the bottom of the basket. So I trim them down, and I just use my miter box and saw to do that. Once they're trimmed down, I place them down side by side, and I'm just going to glue them together by hot gluing some popsicle sticks on the bottom. I used 3 popsicle sticks, and I just trimmed them down to fit. For color, I'm going to apply some stain. This is driftwood from Minwax. So I apply the stain on the wood, and I wipe that on. And after a few minutes, I do go over and wipe it down to remove any stain that hasn't absorbed. While that's drying, I'm going to add some handles using some Nautical rope from Dollar Tree. So I cut the amount that I need, about 15 inches, give or take an inch. To attach, I just bend the ends over the sides of the basket like so, and then I just wrap some jute twine around. I use a little bit of hot glue to hold it in place while I'm wrapping. And I just continue wrapping the ends until I have 2 handles. I drop the wood bottom in the basket, and this DIY is done. To decorate for fall, I place this textured glass bottle from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to place this adorable baby's breath bouquet inside. This one's from Walmart, and then I drop in a few pumpkins. I got these from Dollar Tree. They have such a beautiful variety of pumpkins this year. And this DIY is done. For the next DIY, I am going to turn these charming weaved straw baskets into pumpkins. This one's another quick one. You'll need 2 baskets. Now, if you look on top, you'll see where the straw ends, so keep an eye on that. And so to make the pumpkin, you're just going to flip one over, lining up and connecting the ends like so, and the basket should fit together nicely. You can hot glue them together, but I wanted to reuse these and not just use them as pumpkins for a few months of the year, so instead, I'm just going to use some temporary glue dots. I got these at Dollar Tree, and I just trimmed them to fit, and I placed several around the top of one basket. And then I turn one basket over and place it on top of the other, making sure to line up the ends. Now, if you're buying these baskets to make the pumpkin, you will definitely want to make sure the 2 are similar in size, because if one is larger than the other, then it just won't fit together nicely. So I'm just going to make another one. This one's in gray. And I apply the removable glue dots all around, although you can hot glue them as well. To make the stem, I'm going to trim an old stick from my yard, so I trim one side at an angle, making sure the other side is cut straight, and I glue one on top of each pumpkin. You can embellish these however you want. You can add some bows, ribbons, raffia, or greenery, but I do like it the way it already is, so I'm going to leave it just like that. It's very simple and charming. For the next DIY, I'm going to make a little wooden tray to hold some fall decor. You are going to need 2 12-inch 1x2s. These are from Dollar Tree, and you can also get these at your local hardware store for a lot less. I also trimmed these 1-inch square dowels, which I got at Home Depot, so that I have 4 at 3.5 inches, and I'll be using 3 1-gallon paint stir sticks as well. Before assembling, I'm going to add some color to the wood, and I'm going to be staining the 1x2s and the paint sticks in the shade Special Walnut. This is a water-based stain from Behr. I do about 1 layer of this because I really don't want it to be too dark. And then I wipe it down to remove any of the stain that didn't absorb. You know, one thing that I really do love about using a water-based stain is that it dries really fast, so that's a big plus for me. So after I stain the 1x2s, I move on to the paint sticks. Next, I'm going to paint these square dowels in the shade Pumpkin from Waverly chalk paint. Now, although this is a beautiful color for fall, not too long after, I started having second thoughts. It was a little too orange, but I could have just added some gray to mute it down, but instead, I just decided to paint over it, but this time with the shade Moss from Waverly. And I actually like this a lot better. I thought it would complement the wood nicely. To assemble, I place the 1x2s on its side, and then I apply some glue on the ends of the square dowels, and I place that on the ends of the 1x2s like so. And then I glue another one on top, applying glue on the ends of the square dowels as well as in between the blocks. Because I'm only using wood glue, I do clamp it and I give it some time to dry before moving on. To make the base, I'm going to measure mark and trim the paint sticks down so that they'll fit snugly inside the tray. I'll be using these smaller square dowels to hold up the paint sticks. I get these in a large pack on Amazon, and I'm going to match the stain color of the wood, but also making sure to keep the side that I'll be gluing unstained. And then I apply some glue on one side of the square dowel, and I place that on the shorter bottom side of the rectangle. I glue the other one on the opposite side, and then I apply a little bit of glue on the ends of the paint sticks where it will touch the square dowels, and then I place them down. Since you still see the curves from the handles, I do alternate the direction in which I place them down. You really don't have to, especially since you'll be placing things on top, but I do like the way it looks that way instead. Now, instead of using this as a tray, you can also turn it into a frame. You can glue on some wooden words on top. I think that would look beautiful as well. But to decorate for fall, I'll be using this fern filler bouquet from Dollar Tree, and I place that inside a simple glass bottle. And then I just add some pine cones and little pumpkins to fill it up. But you certainly can place whatever you want inside, and this adorable DIY is done. For the next DIY, I'm going to be making a beautiful neutral fall wreath. I'll be using this Grapevine wreath. I get these at Michael's and they're quite inexpensive. For the florals, I grabbed a couple of these fall stemmed maple leaves in ivory, as well as this light floral bouquet. This wreath will have a pretty neutral color palette, but if you want to add a little more color, you certainly can change it up. Now the first thing I do is snip those wired stems off. Then I just tuck in the leaves in the wreath. You can add a little bit of hot glue as well, and I place about 4 or 5 on the bottom half of the wreath, spreading them out. I also place some of the flowers in between a few of the leaves to fill in the gaps. And I'm going to be adding a few neutral pumpkins from Dollar Tree. They really have some nice ones this year, like this faux leather pumpkin, as well as this adorable sweater pumpkin. These little ones have clips on them, so it was really easy to attach them onto the wreath. And finally, I placed this thankful wooden sign right in the center. And this wreath is done. You can definitely make it more full or add more flowers and leaves or have it go all the way around, but I just love how simple and neutral this one turned out. I was at Pottery Barn the other day and I just love the look of their large fall leaf branches in a vase, and I wanted to make a smaller version of it. I bought a couple of these tall maple leaf bush from Walmart. They were under $4, but you can also get some at Dollar Tree like the ones I used from the prior DIY. I'm going to be placing them inside this Dollar Tree glass vase. I love the shape of this one. I place the leaves inside, making sure to spread out the stems. And then at the base, I add some pumpkins all around, some pine cones and greenery, and that's it. But then I wanted to take it up a notch, and I ended up switching the vase with this larger glass vase that I had. And just by doing that, it gave it an even more high-end look. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, will you please give it a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Until next time, bye!